What's going on with it, guys? So happy to say that I am back home from Spain and Portugal. Had an awesome time. Very, very blessed to be home and safe, and I'm just happy to kind of be here. So, to fill you guys in on the Jaguars game yesterday, I was able to watch pretty much the whole entire first half outside of the first two drives, and then later on, at halftime, I did a live stream over on the Relevant app, and then I watched like a drive in the second half. And my plan was to basically buy Wi-Fi on the plane from Miami to Orlando, because I was in Miami for a layover. But the Jaguars were down 30-7. I said, you know what? Like, I'm not going to spend money on Wi-Fi to watch this. We know what direction the Jaguars are going and what the ending result will be. So. I went ahead, did that, and the Jaguars, wound up losing 37-7, and it's just the same old stuff, man. We are horrible. And, I remember just telling everybody before the season, like, at least the thing about this season is that, look, we have our quarterback, we have our head coach, and look, throughout the year, we can see the progression of our team. But the sad thing is, this team is not progressing at all. We are regressing in the worst way, man. The defense peaked mid-season. Right now, they're back to early season form where they're just kind of playing awful. The offense, they get their one touchdown per game where they squeeze out a touchdown, and that's kind of it. Trevor Lawrence is struggling, and it's just all around bad, man. And it sucks because right now I'm at the point where like it's irresponsible of me, but I cannot watch Urban Meyer's press conferences anymore, guys. Like I was so excited to have him, but I feel like I was completely bamboozled and lied to. Like I feel like right now I feel like right now we have Jim McElwain with an Urban Meyer mask on. You know what I mean? It's like this is not the same Urban Meyer that I used to see at college football. And I know people kind of make this excuse for him, kind of saying, like, nobody can win with the kind of talent that we have. And I agree, dude, that, like, the talent is not very good on this team. We have no playmakers on offense. Our offensive line isn't doing a lot. Our run game has disappeared with James Robinson's injury. And, yeah, we clearly can't win with this kind of stuff, but it's more so the stuff that we can control. You can control the fact that Carlos Hyde had 8 carries and James Robinson had 7. You know what I mean? You can control that kind of stuff. You can control what you say to the media when it comes to coming up with an excuse for that. You can control the kind of offense that you put out on the field and that you prepared for them. The Jaguars, this is an offense that the Jaguars formed to try to hope to succeed this year. And I don't know what this offense is, but it's horrible. And this whole entire this offseason, I was preaching, look, this whole entire offseason is making sure that we have all the pieces we need to make sure Trevor Lawrence can succeed. The Jaguars didn't do that. The Jaguars did next to nothing to help out this offense, to get some playmakers in here. They did next to nothing. And right now we are reaping the benefits of it where we're awful. We're awful. And it's terrible at this point because it's diminishing returns playing any more games. It is counterproductive right now to play more football games for this team because we're only getting worse. You know what I mean? There's nothing. We have some games like the Jets, the Titans. We play the Colts again, the Patriots. I don't have any faith we're going to win any of those games. Like right now, we just look like the worst team in football. And it's so hard to be confident right now about anything going forward with this team. We just locked up another double-digit loss type of season, which we've experienced way too much in the past. Shad Khan bought the team in 2012. Since then, we've had 4 different head coaches, 3 GMs, and every season but one has been a double-digit loss season. It's been terrible. And right now, I'd like to have confidence, but I don't have confidence that our guy at our head coaching job can get it done with Urban Meyer. Now, I do think that the Jaguars will retain Urban Meyer, which, okay, that's fine if they do. But what Urban Meyer needs to do this offseason, man, he needs to roll his sleeves up and become a mad scientist when it comes to figuring out what to do to make this team better. Because we need a lot. We need to double dip on wide receivers when it comes to whoever the best wide receiver in free agency is, throw the bank at them. I'm hoping Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is a very good wide receiver too, but we still need a wide receiver one. I don't think you can get that in free agency. And then there comes the draft. Right now, the Jags, at the season end today, they're drafting number 2. And the obvious move is that, look, Hutchinson from Michigan and Thibodeau from Oregon would be the top 2 picks. They're premier edge rushers. But I'm at this point where I'm like, look, like, can we get a wide receiver 1? You know what I mean? Do we need to overdraft a guy like, Williams from Alabama? But that's a dangerous game because, like, when you look around at the league, when you look at the best edge rushers, they're all drafted in the top 5. All the best edge rushers in the NFL drafted in the top 5. And a lot of times with receivers are kind of found throughout the first, 3 rounds of the draft, 4 rounds of the draft. Like, they're kind of all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, right now, Devontae Adams is probably the best receiver in football. He was a 2nd-round pick. Even DeAndre Hopkins was drafted in the 20s. You know what I mean? And then, the best, it's crazy when you look at, some of these receivers where they were drafted, they're kind of all over the place. So, the obvious move would be defensive end. But it's like, man, this offseason, I'm all about getting stuff for Trevor Lawrence. Bo, come here. Sorry. I'm all about getting the best stuff for Trevor Lawrence, but it's like, it's just, I'm beat up right now, man. I really am. And, it's crazy because when you look at, this is a sidebar, but when you look at what's it called? Sorry, I got a text. When you look at the history of, my channel when it comes to the analytics, my lowest points throughout the year are June and July when we're in a dead period, and November and December. And right now, I'm right there with everybody else, man. A lot of times when the Jaguars lose, we don't feel like talking about Jags. We don't feel like, looking in the Jaguars covers. I'm the same way. I don't feel like making videos and doing live streams because it's just depressing. I'm so in off-season mode. I want the off-season to get here so bad just so I can watch real football in the playoffs and, all that good stuff. But it's just stressful, man. It's just so stressful, this team. And, next week we have the Titans. Probably another bloodbath coming, but... the Jaguars, it was just such an easy game for the Rams. We gave them 10 points. The first 2 possessions, we let a long kick return go, and then we fumble, so we gave them the ball at 37 and 24. So here, we're going to spot you 10 points. Now we're going to decide to play some football. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. But I don't know. And then right now, everybody in Jags Nation is mad. Look at my comment section right now. There's going to be people mad at me for some reason. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you're someone who thinks Trevor Lawrence is a bust, Trevor Lawrence isn't the answer, this probably isn't the right YouTube channel for you guys to watch, because this whole offseason I'm going to be coming up with ways to get better around him. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence needs to tighten some things up. Footwork is leading to some inaccuracy type of stuff. But the Jaguars were given a really good prospect at quarterback to be able to develop and, for him to ascend, and the Jaguars are failing him. And, he's out there. We have no run game. He's having to roll out all the time because pressure is getting there so quickly. Every throw that he makes, there's just no separation with the wide receivers. There's always somebody right on them. There's no easy throws. Then, sometimes he'll overthrow guys or have some inaccurate balls, and just nobody wants to help him out ever. It's just, so if you're somebody that's just not a fan of Trevor Lawrence, this isn't the right YouTube channel for you, man. I'm sorry. And I might sound like an apologist, and I can admit Trevor Lawrence has a lot to work on, but he's our guy, and, I'm not going to give up on him. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, man. I know, like I said, everybody's angry right now. It's not a fun time to be a Jags fan, So, with all that said, I'm doing this on my phone because, I don't know, my laptop is messing up. It can't find... I don't know. It's not finding my memory card for my regular camera, so we're getting a phone video. But, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Go Jags. I'll catch you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on a Duval Vibes podcast on the relevant app under Jaguars Fanatics, me and Tom McManus. So I'll catch you guys there.